Good afternoon and welcome to the briefing from the Board of Directors of Gemme Group featuring our heads of marketing and technical development departments, which was hosted on Monday, July 20th of 2020. My name is Oleg Lipovetsky and I will be translating on behalf of all the speakers today. Valery Ostrikov speaking. Good afternoon, dear colleagues and friends, and today we have a conference during which we will be answering your specific questions that you've submitted previously. We've been receiving your questions over the course of the month and will now answer them, while our marketing team also prepared a rather extensive presentation depicting our upcoming plans and strategies as well. Let's begin with the head of our MarketSpace team of developers. Viktor Stepanov speaking. Good afternoon, dear colleagues and friends. This is my first time speaking during an online conference and I will be discussing our MarketSpace portion of the project, its current stages, and where we are headed in the future, as well as the short-term and long-term goals and the challenges that we currently face. Firstly, MarketSpace is a platform that allows publishing one's products and services for sale. One of the main issues that we currently face is acquiring, which the notion that allows for our platform to accept credit and debit cards as payment methods. And it is truly challenging to receive acquiring for MarketSpace, as the platform provides purchasing and selling products and services to third parties. Users of the platform will range between companies, private and legal entities, while the platform processes payments on behalf of third parties. Therefore, banks, when they review us, try to fully investigate our business models and all the risks, as well as given the current market situation nowadays. We have to maintain directions for acquiring what we are working on in the United States and in Russian Federation as of right now. This will allow for our MarketSpace to start operating in these territories once it is granted. Let's now discuss the product itself, your suggestions, your questions, and future plans. Firstly, I will discuss all the notions regarding the design, the features, and the improvements, as well as other notions. Please note, as of currently, our number one task is to create a flowing design that will correlate with the messenger portion of the application, and this is what takes up most of our time currently. We are also focusing on the wallet functionality in MarketSpace, as it will allow for users to launch promotions of their products and services intra-platform, as well as deposit funds to their balances through a wide array of various financial instruments. We've already developed a system of internal accounting of funds and are also introducing various statuses to products and various ways of promoting one's products and services. This is the aspect that will be introduced in the nearest time. There are also many requests for a web version of MarketSpace to allow to work with it not just on a smartphone, but also on computers for further convenience of our users. And we are actively working on this task and already have a beta version that we are currently testing, while we expect to introduce the functioning version by the end of August. Moreover, we are also implementing product availability statuses by geolocation as well. And this is the approximate estimation of what MarketSpace on the web version will look like, its interface and integration with the application's version. Currently, we are also working on further expanding the web interface and modernizing its efficiency and ease of use. I also wanted to discuss our statistics in MarketSpace, as it already allows for you to view your product stats, and we are working on further expanding this functionality for our merchants and buyers as well. And in other news, I wanted to discuss our future releases and what they will contain, where we are headed, and what notions will make our project grow in value. Firstly, the financial system portion will drastically boost the value of the application, and we already have a legal structure of that, which will allow for us to build the financial infrastructures in various countries in compliance with various local laws and regulations. We are also working hard on launching monetary transfers within the application and introducing the Smart Wallet function. This depends on the dynamic integration of these notions to our application and will allow to become an ecosystem. We are also conducting our promotional campaigns in the nearest future, regardless of the acquiring status within the application. And lastly, we are always looking forward to your questions and suggestions as they help us improve and further sophisticate our MarketSpace position of the application. And on this note, these were all the notions that I wanted to discuss with you today, as I am now passing the word to Vague Zakarian, the head of developers of Gemme Messenger portion of the application. Vague Zakarian speaking. Good afternoon, dear colleagues and friends. My name is Vague Zakarian and I am the head of development of the Gemme Messenger portion, and we'll discuss its notions today, as well as our future plans and what has already been accomplished over the course of the past 3 weeks, as well as the recent release of August 5th. And we'll also answer your questions that we have received. Firstly, the long-awaited notions of group video calls were introduced on July 15th. They allow for users to now place group video calls on all the platforms, and all the users will be able to place video calls after they update their applications. Our internal analysis shows that the function is working quite well, with expectation of minor bugs which we do eliminate promptly. And that is not everything, as this update also included such features as all platforms receive deletion of messages by administrators of group chats, new statuses for calls such as busy and no answer, and correction of errors, while the iOS version received system messages, deletion of messages by users, and message editing capability. And the Android version also received notifications of deleted group channels and chats, online status was further improved, and sharing functionality, aka the direct share. And if you are willing to join the ranks of our testers, you can always submit a request in order to do so. We always welcome more testers, as it helps us further improve and develop the application at a faster rate. Additionally, the next release of August 5th will also feature voice messages, screen sharing on the web version, improvements to call functionality, and improvements to the welcome chatbot, as well as administrating channels and groups on the iOS version. Some more details about how the voice message functionality will be introduced and realized. All platforms will receive a microphone button allowing to record a voice message. By pressing and holding the button, a user is able to start recording the message, and as soon as you let go of the button, the message is sent. In case you want to cancel the message, simply swipe to the left. You can also see how a voice message will be depicted in the chat once it is received on this slide. Additionally, screen sharing at this time is applicable for web version and is one of the steps to allow for our application to host full-scale conferences and briefings. The web version will also receive a designated screen sharing button, by pressing which a user can choose what portion of the screen to show during a call. We plan to continue developing this function further by introducing it to public channels where administrators of such can host and broadcast of an unlimited amount participants. Moreover, we also continue working on MarketSpace on the web version and are progressing in that field. In the nearest time, our web users will be able to view products in the catalog, upload their products, and even chat with merchants. The design will also be further improved and upgraded. And these were all the news that I wanted to cover with you today, and now let's answer the questions that we received from you. I would like to express my true admiration with the quality of audio and video calls. It is truly unique in terms of stability, quality of sound, and picture. Thank you. I would also like for you to please discuss the notion of call security in Gemme, both currently and in the future. I've encountered the following issue. The application icon depicts number 2 as if I have 2 unread messages. I check it and there is no unread messages. All channels are seen up to date as well. I had this issue in the previous versions as well, so please verify the bug. Thank you for your kind words, and we are receiving positive feedback, and there are some minor bugs that we are still working on eliminating. And regarding security, both calls and messages that are exchanged in our application are individually encrypted, and obtaining such information by third parties is simply not possible. We are aware of the notification counter error, and this error is caused by the service's particular architecture, and we've already been working on fixing the server portion. We will update all of our mobile clients in August, and this error will be eliminated. I frequently hear that Gemme is equal in terms of functionality to other messengers, particularly WhatsApp and Telegram. Yes, screen sharing functionality is rather cool and no other application has it. But what about recording an audio and a video message? What about being able to send a draft message or a message that a recipient receives without a notification, as Telegram has such notions? I saw the following table recently, although it has major functions depicted in it. What about a more detailed description including some of the functions I've discussed? Regarding the audio messages, we've already discussed our upcoming plans, and on August 5th, the release containing it will be introduced, after which we will continue improving this function thereon. Delayed messages and silent messages are quite interesting notions, but this is an experimental function for Telegram as of now. We continue conducting internal analysis and will also be introducing our own versions of the experimental functionality, although at this time we have some functions prioritized. The table of comparison depicts the direction that our team is working on costly at this time. Especially during the time of pandemic, these notions are of much importance to users. We are not just equal to our competitors in these notions, but are also surpassing them, from where we will choose key directions to keep on developing further. Please specify where the media files are stored, on Gemme servers as Telegram does it, or on a user's device like with WhatsApp. Do you use your own service or rent them? If you own them, what are the technical capabilities, or if you rent, then from what companies? And what expenses are directed towards the service and energy in the recent half a year? Our Messenger portion of the application is hosted on Google Cloud, and it services to store files, send notifications, and data. If needed, our application is flexible, and we can also host our application on other servers as well. Similarly, since we use Google service, it allows to track the necessary load in real time and determine how much space is needed accordingly by automation. Will the font in the Messenger be larger? My partners are asking to make the message font bigger in the Messenger. Yes, we are working on this request, although as soon as the whole font size is enlarged for the whole application, another set of users comparing it starts complaining that it's too large, which is why we've introduced both themes and script selections on an individual basis in the settings as needed. How many programmers are developing Gemme? As of currently, the team of developers in Minsk consists of 30 people. Is there a statistic of sent messages? We don't necessarily have such data, but we do have message, calls, and sent messages statistics and user analytics, as well as location-based analytics. Timestamps are running very large over received messages in the Messenger. We've had this issue resolved in the previous few releases. Please provide us some information about your device, its operating system, and the versions of the application to further investigate the issue. I truly like Gemme Messenger. It has great call quality, but it is unfortunate that calls and messages are received only when the application is launched, and it is not convenient to have the application open at all times, as the battery will drain. Users have an uneasy choice. Competitor messengers deliver calls and messages regardless of whether the application is launched or not. Also, please make it possible to copy portions of the message, not the whole thing. This issue is prevalent for the Android platform and particular smartphones. This is a system setting on the particular device that a user can change himself. We can provide instructions on how to turn this notion off for those who need assistance. And on this note, I would like to thank you for your feedback, your questions, and time, as we will continue working hard to bring our application to perfection. Thank you, and I'm now passing the word to Ms. Gohar, the head of our marketing team. She will discuss what results we are expecting in the nearest future. Ekaterina Gohar speaking. Good afternoon, and let's continue our conference today as I will discuss our latest marketing strategies and news, as well as what we've achieved over the course of last month. Our application is an ultra-modern product in the modern world of communication, as we take what the market sector already offers and further sophisticate it and improve it. In particular, today I would like to go over a presentation that we have prepared based on your requests that you can also use in your promotional work, and I will discuss it in further detail. The goal of this presentation is to acquaint potential investors with preliminary information about a new messenger with a built-in commercial platform called Gemme MarketSpace. Firstly, a native version of the new Gemme Messenger was released publicly in 2016, and since then, the countdown of development of the current version of the application was launched. The application is available for iOS and Android versions, as well as a web version after preliminary installation of the application on a mobile device. While development of MarketSpace, which is a global marketplace, was launched in 2019. It is a unique commercial platform meant not only for large companies and manufacturers, but also for small entrepreneurs and private entities to conduct commercial activity on. Moreover, currently, Gemme Messenger is in the beta version stage and already has 12+ million of downloads. It is available in the App Store, Google Play, and is a web version with preliminary installation of a mobile version. At this time, users are able to exchange messages, create group calls, launch public channels, transfer files, place voice and video calls, as well as organize video conferences for up to 50 participants. MarketSpace is in its alpha stage at this time, and users are able to create their own stores and offer their products and services there, while a chat between a seller and a buyer is initiated automatically through the request of a buyer. One of the most strategically advanced features of MarketSpace is its instant monetary transfer service, which is in the pre-release stage at this time. As you can see, our dynamic of growth of the user base has been increasing rather steady, as we are currently at 12 million of users in 163 countries of the world and counting. Furthermore, this slide depicts our MarketSpace roadmap for this year of 2020 and its most major leaps to be attained, while each of these sections has numerous sub-aspects that are being developed in them as part of the bigger picture. And this is our team of developers of the whole application, which consists of both developers working on the Gemme Messenger portion in Minsk and the team of MarketSpace developers and our marketing team. All these teams are spread across the world, which helps us further develop and adjust to various parts of the world. Additionally, here are some of our official slogans that you can use in your promotional materials and teams, in offices, and during events. MarketSpace is, of course, our unique selling point. It offers convenient and modern functionality, unlimited capabilities for communication, secure tools for business, and generating revenue. We are realizing all of the successful functions of the market's predecessors and are improving them according to the new reality. MarketSpace, which is a competitive advantage of Gemme application and an open door to the world of global commerce and communication for everyone. Gemme users can conduct full-scale business. They can present their products, their services, they can communicate with customers and merchants, pay for purchases, and send reviews to form a rating for products and particular sellers. On the other hand, here are the regions and markets that we are striving to start opening on in the nearest time, as long as the time frames that we are hoping for to begin operating in them by. We are actively working with Japan currently, where our messenger is widely used, and if we manage to catch a viral wave there, we will be able to generate many more users. We will also continue developing our presence in European countries and North America. And this slide depicts our brand's pyramid that describes its functions and characteristics from various points of view, its technological functions, and other notions that you are able to read in further detail if you obtain this presentation. Moreover, we also have a SWOT analysis, and it is continuously updated and adjusted to the conditions in the world. And as mentioned before, we use all the advantages that current messengers offer and take them to the next level by introducing other various notions and in-demand functionalities to our application. The presentation also discusses our unique selling proposition, MarketSpace, a unique distinctive feature of our project. And its main difference between Gemme and the majority of other messengers is the creation of a global, commercial, and financial platform on its foundation with the brand name of MarketSpace. As of currently, MarketSpace is in the alpha testing stage, and yet the platform already has 500+ markets operating on it. And the core goal of MarketSpace is to provide individual entrepreneurs and companies of any size with the ability to create their markets and gain access to a new audience, including beyond the borders of one's region and country. Furthermore, continuous analysis of the market and competitors is being made. The audit of the project's current stage and brand positioning, and analysis of the project's metrics, feature plan, market research on various indicators, such as the amount of active users daily and monthly, amount of users overall, the retention rate, lifetimes of one user in the application, and amount of sessions and loyal users in the project. We also are working on the accordance of feature plan to the market trends and the SWOT analysis of every single stage. We are trying to improve our brand identity and PR based on native and commercial publications and continuous communication with bloggers and influencers of various age and social groups. Additionally, we are also focusing a lot of attention to mass media and publishing information about our application in mass media, press releases every 3 weeks along with product updates, the reveal plan, which are rebranding videos, storytelling, depiction of competitive advantages of the product, and we are working with our reputation as well through reviews and search results, SEO optimization, and highlighting key channels of promotion for each stage of the product's development through social network, context advertising, advertising networks, native and promotional articles, and cross-promotion in other applications as well. Moreover, the standard marketing funnel for any marketing promotion, the more content and functions we introduce, the wider this funnel expands. We are always striving to increase user awareness and interest towards the application, which help to establish an overall positive image of our product in the eyes of our users. And here's how we are planning to increase brand recognition and establish interest towards the product. Through TV channels and commercial networks, where the goal is to grasp all the potential audience, discuss the value and quality of our Gem for Me in its utmost detail, and campaigns on television and native approach. While on the media side, we have a mass media database with more than 1,500 entries, press releases, articles, tests, video digests, broadcasts, and special projects are planned. We also have our own content, and it's generated and promoted by our editors at the languages spoken by Gem for Me subscribers. And on YouTube, we do have a database of YouTube bloggers as well as specialized agencies. And we do purchase content at a fixed price for an effective conversion and have access to advertising on our YouTube partnership channels. YouTube videos, we do create some of ourselves with scenarios, video production, campaign with appropriate goals, and a broad grasp by media with dozens of millions of views each week in every region of local campaign. We are also trying to influence decisions made by users, and the goal is to convince to make the right decision of choosing Gem for Me. We will be able to achieve it through partnerships programs with bloggers and streamers, through development and activity in our own social networks, through reviews of new capabilities in the area of information technologies and business in own news resources, as well as in external medias, by paid searches through category and brand, target advertising in social networks, and RTB programmatic. And the final goal is, of course, to convince a user to install the application and to use it. And again, here are the tools that we use to attain this goal through category and brand contest publicizing, CPA and video advertising networks, campaign retargeting, target advertising in social networks, OLV campaigns oriented towards installing, bloggers and streamers, and ASO optimization of the stores. And once the application is installed, we are also striving to increase the retention rate and loyalty through campaign re-engagement in all channels by buying the traffic, promotion of contests in the messenger itself, calendar of online events such as contests and promotions, and A/B testing of all our advertising materials. And in order for all of these tools to work, we need to have a very strong analytics to support all of these functions. The main KPI of advertising campaigns will be the attraction of an actively involved user. And consequently, when introducing monetization mechanics to the product, the final indicator of the effectiveness of all the advertising tools will be the return on an investment, and an average check for an active and paying user of the application, as well as profits from the advertising itself. Major campaigns will be valued by the growth in brand recognition and the grasp of our audience. And our internal set of tools allows to also monitor all of the application's indicators for comprehending the audience retention level, its preferences, and development of functionality, A/B testing of MVP models, which allows to rapidly influence user preference and timely introduce all of the necessary changes to the functionality of our product. And finally, the project's financing is generated as follows: due to investments from private entities on the foundation of crowd investing, and due to investments of legal entities and qualified investors through purchasing Eurobonds. The project is financed on the foundation of crowd investing by means of private entities purchasing shares of MarketSpace Custodian Services Limited in accordance to the legal structure of creating Gemme MarketSpace application. And legal entities and qualified investors also participate in the project's financing by purchasing Eurobonds, which are issued by MarketSpace Solutions OU on the Baltic branch of Nasdaq Exchange platform in 2019. As well as the detailed financial information is provided to investors once an NDA disclosure is signed. And finally, the core financial goal of MarketSpace and Gemme MarketSpace venture project is to develop a global mobile application, which is a messenger with a built-in marketplace, promote it on various markets, grow the user base to 120-160 million of users, and sell it to an interested buyer. Once the application is sold, the project's investors will receive their profits in accordance to the packages of shares owned. And various monetization tools are included as part of the application in order to increase the product's appeal for potential buyers, which include commission from transactions between users and merchants, paid promotion of products and merchants, commission from monetary transactions of users, commission from marketing campaigns and from advertising in public channels, as well as from paying for advertising by large advertisers within the application itself. And introduction of core monetizing tools is planned for the fourth quarter of 2020. And on this note, I would like to thank you for your time, as these were all the notions that I wanted to cover today. You can request this exact presentation for your use from our support service and can always edit and delete certain notions from it. However, we do ask you to please maintain the accordance to the project's brand book. I am now passing the word to Alexander Kachinovsky, the member of the Board of Directors. Alexander Kachinovsky speaking. Good afternoon, dear colleagues and friends, and let's now continue our conference. Firstly, the current amount of our users is at 12,112,000 as we continue striving forward to our major benchmark. Let's keep on marching forward towards our major mutual goal of 50 million of users and even higher. Traditionally, let's begin with our weekly updates and summarizing the results of earnings by work conducted and the weekly earnings of those active partners. As you can see, the geography of those partners is very widespread across the whole world, and over the course of last week, we've had 48 partners from 11 countries with earnings of more than 1,000 euro. 27 partners from 10 countries with more than 2,000 euro, 10 partners from 6 countries with more than 4,000 euro, and 3 partners from 3 countries with earnings of more than 9,000 euro in just 1 week. And our top earning partner of last week earned 14,114 euro, and these are the average weekly earnings of our active partners. These are the profitability rates of our project for those partners who wish to earn not just when the project is finished and is sold, but also while it is being developed. Let's make these amounts more frequent over the course of this summer and coming fall, and we are confident that this is the time when big amounts can be earned. As a reminder, our schedule of conferences for the following few weeks is depicted on the slide, and be sure to submit any questions you may have in order for developers and marketers to prepare diligent answers, as well as our board of directors. On July 27th, we will have a news conference, followed by a presentation of the business on August 3rd. In other news, we've had a brief contest to help us test the maximum capacity of our recently introduced video calls, and the participants, and those who had the most won the contest. And we are excited, the winners, who are Svetlana Kirillova from Balashikha, Russia, taking first place, and her team of partners, and they received the prize of €100. The second place, Sergei Bondarenko from Cherkasy, Ukraine, and his team of partners with the prize of €75, and third place was taken by Alexander Dronov from Miget, Russia, and his team of partners with a prize of €50. And we thank all the partners and their teams for participating in the contest of testing group video calls in the Gemme Messenger. Let's now continue our conference by discussing the latest promotions that are in effect for the next 4 months. Firstly, here is the latest amount of shares depicted on the slide as they continue decreasing week by week. The cashback promotion is still valid, where a partner can receive 5% cashback from his or her purchases when paying for a package using encrypted currency. The Maximized Advantages promotions for your advantage is still available and can be used while the amount of complimentary shares is decreasing continuously, and currently it contains 250 complimentary shares until July 31st. Additionally, the Big Profits promotion, during which each purchase yields 35% more shares for buyers and sponsors, is valid until July 31st as well. Don't forget about our CCA10 Powerful Surrounding promotion, which is also still available, although the board of directors can end it at any time based on the remaining amount of shares. It is very profound and is widely used and is therefore still available. Additionally, we've decided not to have minor promotions anymore, but rather now are introducing a new condition until October 30th. As mentioned before, the 50% of complimentary shares for buyers plus 25% of personal bonus for sponsors remain the same. Starting July, there will be 40% of complimentary shares with 10% decrease thereafter each month, while the main amount of shares and packages remains the same. Complimentary shares are slowly decreasing twice each month as well, and there will be no more complimentary shares gifted as of November 1st. Moreover, the cost of shares is also going to be increasing each month, as by November 1st the price of one share will be at €55, and this system is in effect starting in July. Additionally, this table depicts the newly introduced system until November 1st, as well as all of the promotions are also depicted here to show what they include and the complimentary gifts associated with them. Be sure to look at this table to have your point of reference, while the Super, Mega, and Giga packages are also receiving a decrease of complimentary shares, which is also depicted here on this table. And on this note, I would like to thank you for your time. We wish you profound earnings and lots of productive work with these new introductions. Keep on working hard, and until we meet next time.